What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Bonus Level here on Level 1 Gaming, where the show gets taken off the rails pretty much immediately. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host for this adventurous event. I'm joined, as always, by the illustrious, the incredible, the eye-catching Andy from Streamcast. What's going on, Andy?
Oh, you got me. I was so sure you were going to introduce Destiny there. I'm good, thank you very much.
You've not been watching the show lately. Like, they just keep getting longer and longer.
So sometimes Matt will fake out you, and sometimes Matt will fake out himself. So
yeah,
I never quite
He
know.
never fakes out Lou, though, which is interesting.
I do fake out Lou sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes usually I go to you first, D. Like, by the way, obviously, and joined, as always, by the perfect
joined by
personification of prettiness, Destiny. There we go. I got there.
That was a lot.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you're welcome. Because sometimes I usually throw to D first. It's just like, it's like my nature. We've been doing this so long together now that like D I usually go to first. So sometimes, like you said, Andy, sometimes I throw to Lou to throw him off. Sometimes I throw to the guest first. And sometimes I just run into it face first and not even realize where I'm going with it until I get there. But that's all part of the magic.
Keep everyone on their toes.
100%, dude. Which, on this episode, we are going to be doing an Mcu X-Men Fancast. We are going to be picking the 5 X-Men that we want to see as the face of the new MCU and putting actors and actresses in those roles. But before we do all of that, Andy, if somebody somehow doesn't know about you and the fantastic work that you're doing with Streamcast, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. So Streamcast is a team of Black gamers who are trying to give back to gamers, and we do that through various means, but primarily we are content creators. We create podcasts, live streams, blog posts, weird YouTube videos, anything and everything involved in the world of gaming. That's us right here.
And you're killing the game at Streamcast.
Yeah.
And you guys are killing it. It's awesome. It's awesome seeing you guys succeed. It's awesome seeing you. And by the way, you know, we just had Midas on Bonus Level yesterday. This is going to go up in a couple weeks. You, obviously, the winner of the fantastic giveaway that he did, winning a whole suite of awesome content stuff. I can't wait to see what you do with all of it. And I can't wait to see you being like, look at me in my beautiful noble chair, just spinning.
Wait, was that Midas's? Was that Midas's giveaway, or was that Midas's giveaway?
Midas.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
both of them.
Oh, it was both of them together. Okay, because I was like, all right.
Because Minnie is doing stuff on the main on Midas's channel now, and then to celebrate 2K and everything, they did a giveaway. But yeah, and
it's magical.
It's magical, right? Yeah. Congrats again! I'm stoked for you, and I'm very excited, very proud, and I know you're going to continue to do amazing things with all of the stuff. But let's get into it because, as we say, you know, it's the X-Men. We just got the news that Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, is coming back. He's going to be in Deadpool 3. And we know that, you know, Kevin Feige and the rest of them are hard at work at what will be the X-Men and the mutants, or whatever the hell they're going to call it, because there's rumors that it's going to be called the mutants. There's rumors that there's rumors that that. Mutants are starting to come into the MCU, and we're going to pick our 5, and we're going to pick the actors and actresses that we want in those roles. So, Andy, because you're our guest, I'm going to start with you. So we'll do this round robin style. We'll go around the table, but I want you to hit me with your first MCU X-Men and who will be playing them.
Ooh, okay, on the spot.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wait, he didn't tell you what it was beforehand?
Oh, he did.
Oh, not on the spot then. Okay, go ahead.
It was for the show, Destiny.
It's too late. I'm broken character. I'm not gonna let you come on here like you just thought about it and have this immaculate list. No.
Also, very quickly, before I was remiss to mention and to give Andy a second to think here. Andy, of course, has been on Bonus Level when it was back on Bonus Stage. One of the seminal episodes, I would say, where get to the piss. one of our most famous lines. So if you haven't watched that episode yet, make sure you hop over and check that one out, because I don't know if I've ever laughed harder on a podcast than I did that episode, because what a fucking roller coaster. Every time you thought you knew where that show was going, it takes a wild left turn into completely different territory.
It's basically this show.
Yeah.
I do go back to listen to it very often because it's wild, and I'm waiting for you to release a Get to the Piss t-shirt so I can buy one.
At some point, man.
We're going to. We need
to.
We're going to.
I'm just saying.
Oh my god! Of course, like the first shirt that we put out as like Burnout Brighter has to say "Get to the piss." I don't know if there's anything more on
Just
brand.
say "Burnout Brighter" on the front and "Get to the piss" on the back.
But Andy, who's your first X-Men and who's playing him?
My first X-Men is actually going to be a woman. I'm going to put Storm out there.
That's my first one too. Okay, good.
It's got to be Storm, and I've got the perfect person for her. It's a wrestler, actually. It's Jade Cargill. So she already has white wigs. She wears them every week. And if you see her physique, she looks like she could legit knock out anyone.
Oh, I know
on
who
the
you're
planet.
talking about.
So I think it's Jade Cargill. She grew up a nerd. She grew up an X-Men fan. She's a massive cosplayer. She's cosplayed as She-Hulk. The only question mark is on the acting ability, but I'm sure that will come in time. We've seen many wrestlers, make the jump, like Batista and The Rock. So Jade Cargill on looks alone. Looks alone. I'd
Looks
give
alone.
Storm
Okay, because
to
I was
Jade
like,
Cargill.
would you really say they're good actors? But okay.
This is a recasting on looks. Not ability. I don't know about Jade's ability. She might be great. She might not be. But I think she's a perfect person to cast as Storm. We can go from there.
Jade Cargill. I don't know anything about wrestling, so I'm gonna look her up right now. Okay, all right. I think she would. I would be scared. She would drop me any day of the week, regardless if she's Storm or not. So yeah, I think she'd crush it. That'd be cool. D, since you also have, so hold on, is Storm the leader of your X-Men? Let me ask you that.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm about it. D, what about you? Who's your first
Wait.
X-Men, and are they the leader?
Yeah, but let me set up this story for you. So
Ooh, okay.
we're basically in the universe that Logan took place. He's
Okay.
dead. Professor X is dead. And kind of Storm walks in on this shitstorm of being like, what the fuck happened? Right? So of course, who's going to play her? Who would be perfect? It would be Angela Bassett, because it would also match up with her actual age within this universe.
Okay, so you're putting her as the older Professor X Magneto type. Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah. Yep. So Angela Bassett, everybody's been wanting her to play Storm, but everybody's been like, oh, she's too old. But I'm like, okay, why don't we just put her in a universe where Storm has actually aged up? And I feel like Logan's universe would be perfect for her to walk into and just be like, okay, we need to fix shit. I'm taking shit back over, kind of thing. And being the new head honcho. Because she has been the leader of the X-Men before.
Yeah.
So her coming in and I don't know how she would find out that Professor X and Logan died, but I'm assuming in movie magic world, the message would get to her. She'd show up and investigate and be and then form her own team, who you're going to see in a minute as I continue to go down the list.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's really, really cool. And yeah, especially in her as the older leader position, that'd be really sick. I was a little worried for a second that I thought you were going to say Halle Berry. And I was like, can we just not bring her back, please? But
I know you're joking.
I know.
Okay.
All right. As for my first character, so I went with Shadowcat as the leader of my X-Men. I like Kitty Pryde a lot. I think she's a really, really cool character. She has been the leader of the X-Men before in the comics as well. I think she's got a lot of what it takes to be the leader of this X-Men, because listen, I'll spoiler this right now. I don't have Cyclops or Jean Grey in my 5. Fuck them both. I'm so tired of both of them. I don't like either one of them as characters. Fucking, I don't want to open the door to the Phoenix Force. Cyclops can fucking.
Cyclops is a narc. He just seems like a narc.
He's such a narc.
Such a narc, right?
He's like the kid that tells on you in school for I don't know, playing with Beyblades at recess or some shit. Fuck Cyclops. Oh god, he sucks. So I don't want either one of them anywhere near my fucking X-Men, unless it's a running joke that Deadpool accidentally kills them off or something. Then sure, we can talk about it. So I have Shadowcat as my leader. I think she's super capable. I think she's super cool. I want to base her off of the Ultimate line, because I would want to have her and Peter Parker, be a team, be a thing, be a whatever possibly. And again, happens in that universe. They're awesome together. And as for my Shadowcat actress, I want Natalia Dyer from Stranger Things. I think she's got the looks for it. I think she does have the acting chops. We've seen her being badass as fuck in the latest, and all of Stranger Things. And I think she would also vibe with the rest of the cast that I put together. I think she has everything it takes to be the leader of this generation of X-Men. And I want it to be Shadowcat. I think we haven't gotten a really awesome Shadowcat in the movies yet. And I'd want it to be her.
Okay.
That's strong. Yeah. I like
Yeah.
Shadowcat.
I think she's dope. I think she'd be cool. So I have Shadowcat as my first. We have Storm for both of you. Andy, who's your next X-Man?
I mean, I feel like I'm the odd one out here because I've actually got Cyclops in.
Motherfucker!
I just heard this tirade, this hate speech, and I just had to sit on my hands.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, sorry at all.
I think the fact that he's unlikable makes him
unlikable,
good to contrast with the rest of the team.
Okay.
And I think you all need someone that you don't like, but you need.
Okay.
You know?
He is dependable. To be fair,
sure.
Cyclops is dependable.
Yep.
But he plays by the book so much that, like, I feel like he would put your team at jeopardy. That's all I'm going to say.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of intentional self-sabotage. And I think Cyclops is going to be that bit there. And
go on and fuck up the mission. Go ahead. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There's 4 good guys and there's 1 inside man. It's fine.
Got it.
I personally don't believe we've had a good Cyclops in the films
or the comics. Sorry, go on. I couldn't help myself.
I think what's his name was a good Cyclops, but Cyclops was just written very lame. But like, how do you write him to be cool unless like you change up a lot about him?
So I had the same reservations about Captain America, and I actually think what they did with Chris Evans as Cap ended up being really cool. So maybe you're right. Maybe we just haven't seen a good Cyclops, Andy. So go on with your bullshit.
I knew something was coming. I was ready for it. Like, this is so fake.
Yeah, that was mad fake. But go ahead.
And I agree with you precisely with the Captain America point. Exactly. I think you just double down on the fact that Cyclops is a bit of a prick, and you don't try to show him as the goody two shoes.
Show him as when he cheated on Jean. That's the Cyclops I want to see.
You want fuckboy Cyclops?
I want drama Cyclops. That's what I want.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with cheating, guys. Nothing wrong with cheating. No, it's okay. Andy, look at your face.
I would like to, at this point, mention that this applies to fictional characters only. I do not advocate for infidelity. I'm going to move on now.
Yes. Get to the piss. Sorry.
Get to the piss. All right, I'm going to get to the piss now. I would actually go with someone that I wouldn't have gone with even last year, Robert Pattinson, because I felt that his portrayal of Batman was really good. And he was Batman, not fresh after the death of his parents. It's not really a spoiler at this point. But him who's just gone on a few years and he's still trying to deal with the grief and he doesn't know about how he should go about life, how he should balance the day of being the rich billionaire and the nightlife of being this vigilante. I think Robert Pattinson could pull off Cyclops very well, being this really disgruntled, unhappy character, just perpetually grumpy. Yeah, I think he's shown that he has acting chops. I'd never watched Twilight, but I heard it was bad. So.
I never watched Twilight either.
I had to watch the first one, and I just never went back.
Oh, I'm lying. I did. I watched the first one. I tried to get my dad to watch it because I was like, Daddy, it's about like vampires and stuff. And he was like, he stayed there for 5 minutes and knew it was trash. And he's like, I'm not watching this shit. Anyway,
that's it. I think Robert Pattinson could actually be a good Cyclops if you're going with the more kind of straight-laced, broody version of the character. I could see it happening. You know what? I'll allow it. I'll roll with it, and I'll see what happens.
Allow it.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I've won Matt over. Who said at one point said it was bullshit.
I'm still not ready to rescind that comment, but I'm ready to open the door to rescinding that comment. Okay, so we got Storm and Cyclops on Andy's team so far. D, who's your next X-Man?
Gambit because I
Yep.
love him.
Whoa.
All right,
Yes.
so for my Gambit, I'm gonna pick Henry Cavill because I feel like in The Witcher he proves that he grimes up really well. I don't know if
Ooh.
he could like handle the accent, but I know that he's a dedicated actor, and so he would work on it to get it down. But I could see him being like just kind of this brooding, like hot Gambit who gambles and drinks all the time and doesn't really give a fuck about anybody else because if The Witcher is not that person other for like his one true love, Yennefer, couldn't Gambit be that with his one true love, Rogue? Yes. Yes.
You know
So,
what? I can
I'm
actually see
gonna-
Henry Cavill destroying that role in a really good way. I think you're right. I think if he's like slimmed down a little bit, you know, because he's
Mhm.
obviously like bulky as fuck. I think we need him to drop a little bit of the muscle off, and then I could see him being like dark and dirty and kind of hot in that way. I think you're right, D.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Good,
I've thought
yeah.
about it a lot. So
I agree with you, Matt. That would be my one reservation. He's too hench. He's too big.
but it depends on which Gambit you're looking at, like which design, because there are some designs of Gambit where he's fucking swole. Like massively swole. Like if you look it up in the comic, they're like he's just like ready to fuck shit up.
Depending on the artist.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if he slimmed down, he'd be fine. Even if he didn't slim down too much because he's always wearing kind of like the brown trench coat, I think it's going to make him look a little bulky anyway. So, but that's who I'd like to see as Gambit.
Nice. I think it's a good pick. For my next person, again, I'm really happy that we're getting Hugh Jackman's Wolverine back for Deadpool 3. And if like the rumors of what that movie are true, like I hope that this will be his last ride. I don't want him as the MCU Wolverine. I'm happy he's coming back because I genuinely do really want to see those two characters on screen together. But I want X-23, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and just bring, Daphne Keane, who played X-23 in Logan. I want to just pick her up and move her to the MCU. I think she was so cool in her role. I think she completely embodied the character, and I think she'd just be awesome. I'd really like to see X-23 as like the MCU's Wolverine, and I want Daphne to continue on in the role because I think she's fantastic, and I think she deserves the opportunity to blow up even more because I think she crushes it in Logan, and I think she'd be awesome. So like I'm going to cheat a little bit and just kind of move her over, but I don't want the actress to change. I think she's too good.
Okay.
It's not a recasting though, is it?
It's not, but we'll allow it.
Yeah.
Allow it.
All right, you want to fail by your own criteria.
I know.
Listen, I'm not a Logan. I mean, not a Logan, but I'm not a Cyclops. I don't have to play by the rules.
Listen, Andy, your opinion went out the window about 5 minutes. Okay. We're just starting to crawl back into listening to you. So if you're gonna talk shit about X-23, fine, I get it. But fucking Cyclops over there, I don't know, eating blank toilet paper. So let's talk about it.
Honestly, if he was a flavor, it would be flour.
Ooh.
Okay.
Like cardboard flour. So I got Shadowcat and X-23. Andy, who's your next X-Man?
So part of me wants to re-engineer Wolverine back into this because I really like Wolverine. And I think I'm going to. But I definitely need someone who's got an older look about him. So I think I'd go for Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Okay.
I believe is Negan.
Yeah.
He can pull off that.
He is so hot.
The rugged look, right?
Yep.
And we've seen him be violent. He's got amazing acting chops. He's done Supernatural. I believe he's done a ton of other shows and movies. I think this is someone who could genuinely bring Wolverine and not try to erase the legacy of what Hugh Jackman did, but give you a different spin on what Wolverine is. I think you can nail it. The personality, the action scenes, the weird, complex love relationship thing with Jean. I think he can do it all.
He's really tall, isn't he?
He's 6'1". That's exactly what I was looking up. That would be my one thing about him.
Really tall.
Because it's the same problem we have with Hugh Jackman, right? Wolverine is a little guy. But I do think you're right in terms of I think he would crush it in the role. I think like height aside, I think he'd be a fucking awesome Wolverine. He's got that gruffness to him, that like dark underside, but I could also see him being like a good teacher and like a good, mentor for the students. I think
most importantly, he's hot. Like
most importantly,
that's
he's hot.
number one. Number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Number one. That's a good cast, Andy. I like it. You're starting to climb back up the ladder here. D, who's your next X-Man?
Well, you can't have Gambit without Rogue, and I feel like Storm would probably hit up Rogue, and her and Gambit would be together, and so that's how they would come in to the storyline. And I picked Lily James, and she's been in Mamma Mia, and she's been in Cinderella, and she's in Pride and Prejudice Zombies, which I did not watch because that is just blasphemy. But I think she has a nice face, and I think she could pull it off. Also, I didn't want to make Rogue like super young compared to Gambit. I wanted them to be around the same age in real life as well, because I hate how Hollywood does that, where like the guy is in his 40s and the chick is like, oh, I just turned 19. You know what I mean? So she's 33, he's 39. I feel like that's a good age gap.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like Gambit is a little bit older than Rogue. I can't remember the exact age or whatever. But and I think they would look good together on screen.
They would.
So that's who I picked. She has that nice little square jaw, and I was like, if she could pull off the country accent, because I need her to have the Southern Belle accent. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
I think she could do it.
I think it's a great cast. I think her and Henry Cavill as Gambit would look really good together, and I think she'd be crushing. I don't know what I've seen her in, but she looks from Baby Driver. That's what it was. I've seen her in Baby Driver. She was the female lead in Baby Driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
she was in Baby Driver, yeah.
Yeah, she was awesome. So I think that's a great Rogue. But yeah, so for my next X-Men, staying on the train here because you guys obviously brought her in, and I obviously need to as well because she's unreal. I'm picking Storm, bringing Storm in. She's unreal. I think her alongside X-23 and Shadowcat, we already have a really strong and very diverse in terms of their power set X-Men team. And for the actress that I want to play her, I want Laura Harrier, which we've seen as Liz Allen in Spider-Man Homecoming. I think she's, again, got the physique for it. I think she's a really cool actress. And MCU has recast past actors and actresses before already, and I don't really see them bringing Liz back for more Spider-Man outings. I think she could totally carry Storm. I think she'd be awesome with it. And I think
what's her name?
Laura Harrier. She was Liz Allen in Spider-Man Homecoming. His love interest.
She's too light-skinned for me.
Fair.
That is one of my main issues with casting Storm, is that like they always cast a biracial female to play her, because in Hollywood they feel that the closer you are to white, the more attractive you are, and they want her to be attractive, and that really fucking bothers me. I hate that so much. But I'm not gonna shit all over your casting. I'm just saying I need a dark-skinned woman to play. I need it in my life. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm so like, we went from Halle Berry, and they kept recasting Halle Berry in all those movies, even though she was trashed.
Can we talk about that for like 10 seconds?
Let's talk about it.
She was
so bad.
So garbage.
Listen, after the height of her career with Catwoman, come on, guys.
I think that's when she was trying to become like an action hero, and I was just like, look, you're good at playing a bad mom and being depressed and just not knowing what you're going to do with your life. You're laughing, but it's true. Every time they're like, Halle Berry did so good. She's either lost her kid, her kids died.
These things happen.
Fair.
I don't know a movie where she's kept her kids safe. If you can find a movie where she's literally been a good parent and kept her kids safe, I will be like, yes, Holly. But it's like she reads these and she's like, oh, bad mom, I'm on it. Academy Award, here I come.
I can't remember the last time I actually saw her in anything.
I think it was like a movie where she lost her kid. I'm not joking. Like they were in the parking lot or something, and somebody snatched up her kid, and she was like, no! And then the whole movie is about her trying to get her kid back.
Fair enough.
Playing it safe.
But yeah, for me, I understand D. But yeah, I don't know. I think she'd be cool.
Don't feel bad about it. I'm just very hot about it because every time they literally have like
This is why I love working with Burnout Brighter. This is amazing.
What I was trying to say. Well, I was so rudely interrupted.
I interrupted nothing. I added.
They literally see what she looks like in the comics. Like, they cast everybody else to try to be as close as they can to the comic book character, but like with Storm, who's like a major character in the universe, they just go off on the deep end every single time, and I'm just like, you know what she looks like. Like, she's straight up out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, make her look the part. Like, I would have been upset if they had done that with Black Panther. If Chadwick wasn't Black Panther and they picked somebody like Shamar Moore, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but listen,
I do,
yeah, I would have boycotted that movie. And I feel bad about saying that, but I would have been like, stop it. That's not what he looks like. Like, come on, let's do proper representation of the characters if you're going to do it. So
fair. Totally fair. I get it.
100% agree.
All right, Andy, what is your fourth X-Men?
So my fourth is going to be Rogue.
Okay, nice.
So a lot of my X-Men knowledge comes from briefly the 90s series with the best theme song ever. And
Dude, when you hear it for just a couple seconds in Multiverse of Madness, I was like, yes!
That whenever you hear that song, you know shit's about to pop off. You know what I mean?
Go down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, someone bring it back. Well, I'm much more familiar with the 2003 X-Men Evolution, and I have very strong memories of Rogue. Just amazing character, and I was in love with that Southern accent. So it just is really weird timing because we've actually seen someone propose to be fan casted as Rogue, and this has caused a lot of, I would say, America to be pissed off. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with Keke Palmer. I think she can pull off Rogue, mainly to piss off those people, because she can act. We've seen it. She's been born in the business, born in the industry.
Yeah.
So she's got acting chops, and her accent, hello, she wouldn't need to put one on. It would be the easiest role to do. Sure, she doesn't look like Rogue, but when has that stopped Hollywood in the past? So
that's Keke my Palmer. Problem. I don't want Keke Palmer playing Rogue because I don't like the idea of making a character Black or any other race just for the sake of adding minorities to your lineup, because the MCU has tons of Black characters that they could showcase and they have not done it. So like, I feel like it's like just appeasing me, and I don't like that. I feel the same way, and I know my opinion is very unpopular, and Black people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't want you to take a white character and make them Black for the sake of making them Black, right? Because I feel like so much comes with a character being the race that they are, that if Rogue was Keke Palmer, or if Rogue was Black, she wouldn't be the Rogue that we know. So that's why I feel like when you're doing character development, or if you've ever taken any of those classes, race does play into it, especially her being from the South, especially with that accent. If she was Black, it would be a completely different Rogue, and you're not going to write her that way. You're going to just make the actress Black, and she's still going to be the same. Also, I care about like merchandising and all of that stuff. Am I going to start seeing Black Rogue action figures? Is she going to start being Black in everything else? Or are you just doing it for this movie? Or are you just doing it to get the money? And I feel like that's what Hollywood does. So I'm super against it. And I know like people are upset about my opinion about Holly Bailey playing Ariel. I also don't like that, because I was just like, I love Holly Bailey. I think she has a beautiful voice. I've never seen her act. I'm sure she could pull it off. But like, unless you're going to really put forth the effort to make Ariel Black so that all these little Black girls seeing her, this is not the first time and only time they ever see her like that, then I don't want it. Do a story about a Black character. Like, it just period. Just do it. Like Tiana, they made her Black. She's never going to be white in the Disney universe. Do you know what I'm saying? But with Ariel, we've made her Black. are we gonna keep seeing Black Ariel, or is this movie like a one hit? And I feel like Hollywood does that a lot, and I don't like it. Same thing with Fantastic Four, when they made Michael B. Jordan fucking with, I was like, but it doesn't make any sense. They're siblings. What is going on? Like, stop, Hollywood. If anybody from Hollywood ever watches this and has any kind of power
and made it this far into the episode,
Of course they have. Definitely.
Stop recasting people just for the sake of making, like, putting a minority in your lineup. Just stop. It's not cool. I know people are like, this is our chance. No, it's not. They're pandering to us. They are. That is literally what is happening. They are pandering to us. Go fucking see The Woman King if you want to see some powerful Black women take on a role. Okay? We don't need Keke Palmer as Rogue. Okay, I'm done. Okay. Sorry. Love your casting though. Good job. Let me put it out there.
I got the feeling of we don't need any more Black actresses. We got this whole film over here. Go watch that.
Go watch that film. I'm just saying they're doing it right.
I'm gonna stand by that because it's mainly to piss off those people. I understand where you're coming from, and I agree that Michael B. Jordan was a terrible, terrible decision for Fantastic Four. But
that movie in general was a terrible decision.
You watch it, could tell it was going to be trash.
Yep.
But I think when the reason you despise this idea, this is even hypothetical, and you know, the stuff that she's getting, I think when the reason goes beyond ability and in the integrity of who the character is in fiction, we know why Keke Palmer is getting hate for being Rogue.
Oh yeah, no. I absolutely know why she's getting hate. Racist. But like, that's why I want them. Like, I don't. Controversy stirs money for Hollywood, right? I don't want like our adversity in, because she's been acting for over 20 years. Like, she's been in the game for a long time. I don't want her success coming from the fact that a bunch of white people hate her for playing a role that she could obviously fucking play, right? Like, I want people to look at her the way they look at Viola Davis, but also the way you guys look at Viola Davis is kind of fucked up. She is not the Black Meryl Streep. That is like such a fucking insult. Can we just stop doing that? Okay. But I just feel like it never really pans out. Like, they did it with Cinderella, right? Yeah, Brandy's Cinderella, where I liked that only because they made the entire cast different. And that wasn't even because Disney wanted to do it. That was because Whitney Houston wanted to take on that project. But like, a lot of people, other than Black people, don't really remember Brandy's Cinderella, right? You never see a Black Cinderella. That's like the only time. Broadway sometimes does it. Keke Palmer has played Belle in Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. Hardly anybody knows that. Do you know what I'm saying? Toni Braxton played Belle on Broadway. Nobody knows that. This is what I'm saying. So it's a money grabbing thing. And it's like, oh, this is stirring people up. They're going to get mad. Let's do it. Like, stop using us. And tell stories that are about us, because there's so many characters, so many good characters in the MCU who are already a minority. So just do that. Like, I just feel like they're being lazy. Same character, let's just make it Black. Same character. If they did it like they did with Miles Morales, which I absolutely love the way they handled that. They did not turn Peter Parker Black. Okay, they took Spider-Man and they basically was like, this is the new Spider-Man, or this is one of the Spider-Man in the universe, and he happens to be a Black boy. Anywhere you look, Miles Morales is going to be Black. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he has his own following because he didn't try to be Peter Parker. He's his own Spider-Man, and people love that. So that's how I feel about recasting canon characters just to throw a minority in the lineup. I just don't like it. And I'll probably always feel that way. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
We're having
we're being authentic, and I appreciate that. And you've made so many strong, sensible points.
All right, D, who's your next X-Man?
Nightcrawler.
Nice.
And I think Robert Sheehan from Umbrella Academy would be a really interesting Nightcrawler, because Nightcrawler, I can't remember where he's from, but he has an accent.
German. He's a German character, I think.
Yes.
Kurt Wagner.
Yeah. But I think Robert Sheehan could really, really pull it off. I've seen him, I can't remember what movie I saw him in where he was playing a more serious character. I think he has a really great acting ability as a character actor. So I definitely think he could pull it off. And I think he has the look of what I thought Nightcrawler kind of looked like in the 1990s X-Men cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about it, like that slim build and kind of like, not meek, because he's not meek and that's the worst, but you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like if you saw Nightcrawler, you wouldn't be like, oh shit, Nightcrawler's here, he's about to whoop my ass. Like that's not what people think about when they think of Nightcrawler. But no, I think Robert Sheehan would probably kill that role. I think he'd be good. Or that Timothy guy,
Chalamet.
Yeah, I think he might be able to rock that role.
I think, you know what's funny, because so I'm just going to jump into this real quick because I also picked Nightcrawler, and I picked Tanner Buchanan, who's from Cobra Kai, and I like your idea better. I think Robert Sheehan from the Umbrella Academy, I think he would actually be a really great Nightcrawler. He's got kind of that look about him. I think you're right. Like when I was trying to think of somebody for Nightcrawler, and I was having a hard time on landing on someone. I think Tanner Buchanan has that kind of general look. I think he's got the acting chops. He's been great in Cobra Kai. So I think he could do it, but I think that you need somebody who's a little bit more wiry. And I don't mean to sound like you need somebody who looks a little bit like, I don't know. He looks a little shady. Like, and Nightcrawler kind of inherently does look a little shady. And I think Robert Sheehan would actually be a great choice. So I'll keep my Tanner Buchanan as my Nightcrawler, but I think you made a better call.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I do think so.
I can see Robert just owning that role.
Yeah, making it his own. And I'd be excited because I feel like Nightcrawler doesn't get enough love. 100%. And I feel like he's the perfect character to step into the role, the perfect character for an actor to step into and completely remake without too many people being pissed off.
Yep.
So
yeah, and I could totally see him being like even the swashbuckling Nightcrawler that we get in the comics, like running around with the sword and like poofing in and poofing out. I think it'd be great. Andy, who's your final X-Man?
Ooh, so this one was really tough, and I'm still not sure if I am happy with my decision. But I'm just gonna say it, and I'm gonna go off your reactions, so whether it's dumb or not. So I have controversially gone for Mystique.
Okay.
And I'm going for Jessica Chastain. I think.
Okay. You're bringing her back.
Yes.
She was Emma Frost, right?
Emma Frost, I believe.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, tell us why.
So I think she's got the look of, how do I say this without coming across as silly? But Mystique, I think, should come across as a not middle-aged, but like learned and older woman. So
more mature.
Look like, yes, that's
Femme
the word.
fatale.
Yes, thank you. So who is it that played her last?
What's her name? Jennifer Lawrence.
I thought she was a weird pick for Mystique.
I agree.
I want Mystique to be the antithesis of that. I think Jennifer Lawrence, I'm sure she's a great actress, but I think she looks like she just finished high school. I think she looks very, very young, and I don't think that is what I see or I envision Mystique being like, you know.
I liked the Mystique from the first movies. Rebecca Ramon, whatever her name is, Rebecca something, whatever her name is. I thought she embodied, even though Mystique had like no lines basically throughout those movies, I thought she, like, when I picture Mystique, she definitely bodied what Mystique looked like to me.
And that, like, I don't know, Mystique, I think, is supposed to be kind of like, it's almost like this, like, she's almost like a sexy assassin type character. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I think of Jennifer Lawrence, she's just very flat to me in terms of like her acting range and the way that she embodies any character. There isn't too much to her. And I think Jessica Chastain could carry that character in a much cooler way and make her much more of like a threat than I think Jennifer Lawrence ever did.
Yes, I think at the end of the day, this one comes to acting ability, and I think Jessica is by far a much better actor, and I think she's got the range. She can pull off evil, she can pull off good, she can pull off sexy, she can pull off mentor like relationships.
I love that. You know who I would have picked as an older Mystique in my realm and in my story? Charlize Theron.
Okay. Yeah. Same wheelhouse, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who, because I can't, Charlize is like 47, but like if I'm going with like Logan's universe, I would have picked her because I think she has the body, and I saw her as the evil queen and I was like, yeah, she's not fucking around. So
I think it's a good casting, Andy. I was perplexed, but the more you talked about it, the more I saw it. I gotta say.
Okay, good.
You sold me on it. You sold me on it.
I think you did good, yeah.
All right, cool.
D, who's your final X-Men?
Beast.
Nice.
See, that's who I was thinking of for my fifth.
I was too.
My only issue with the person I'm having play him, but because Beast is going to be in a bunch of makeup, I don't think they can make him look old, like, you know, movie magic. But I wanted to do David Diggs, and he's actually from Hamilton. So if you guys look him up, I think he would be a really good Beast. I think he has the range. I think he's an incredible actor. Like, anytime I see him in a role, I believe that's that role. You know what I mean? So I really think he could probably do it well. He would need to like buff up some. And I think they would need to do a lot of movie magic, but I think that he could probably handle it.
I think that's a really cool casting, and I think that would be awesome. Beast is someone that I was almost going to put on too, and I saw this on Twitter the other day, and I haven't been able to get it out of my head. But I saw the fan cast for Matt Berry as Beast. Matt Berry being from What We Do in the Shadows would be fucking incredible. Like, I saw that and I was like, that would be the weirdest Beast ever, and it would be amazing. But I think, like, I don't think it would ever happen. I actually do see a world where, you know, David Diggs does become, like, I could be Beast in the MCU. I think that'd be really cool. As for my final X-Men, I went with Iceman. I love the character. I think, again, just a super, super powerful X-Man, like one of the few Omega level mutants. I think he's super, super cool. And the character, the actor that I would want to play would be Noah Centineo from, he was in, I just blanked on it. To All the Boys I've Loved Before. That, like,
the main guy?
Netflix. Yes.
The one she, like, the main guy she gets with?
I haven't seen it in a couple of years, so I can't remember if that's him or not. I think
that is. I think it is him.
Yeah,
he's cute.
I know. I think he's good looking. I think he can pull off that. Like, you know, Iceman is a really cool character. He's got a bit of the swagger, but also
wasn't she Jubilee?
Yes, she was. Yes, she was actually. Yes, she was. Yeah, I think he'd be really cool. I think he'd totally carry it. I think he's got the physicality for it. I think he's got like I think he's got the charm. I think he'd be a really, really cool Iceman. And I think he's got the range for it. I think it'd be awesome. So yeah. So in terms of our five, so we have Andy's list was Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, Rogue, and Mystique. D's list was Storm, Gambit, Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Beast. And as for mine, I had Shadowcat, X-23, Nightcrawler, Storm, and Iceman. So we got Storm on all of our lists. You guys both had Rogue. I was so close to putting Gambit 2D. I was so close.
I can't have him without, like, they have to be together.
And I almost had Emma Frost on my list as well. I was going to put her as the leader, but the more I thought about Shadowcat and like I tried to skew my X-Men to be a bit younger, I was like, I think Shadowcat would be great, but I think it's a really great list, guys. This is awesome. I
think we all picked different age timelines too. Yeah. Like, you went younger, you went mid, and I went older. Yeah. Which I think is cool. I think this is awesome. Andy, are you happy with your list?
I am, yeah. I think this has been a dope recording.
It's always a dope recording when you're with us. So
100%. Facts. Get to the piss, indeed, everyone. That brings us to the end of our X-Men MCU Fancast. Let us know in the comments who would you want in the MCU as your X-Men. Which 5 would you want to see leading the way, except for Cyclops and Jean Grey? But Andy, if people wanted to see more of the incredible stuff that you do, where could they do so?
So if you do love Cyclops, don't worry, because I got you. I got you. You have to be like these two haters. But you can follow the Streamcast on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Streamcast_. Follow us on Twitch, Streamcast TV. And we are also on YouTube, youtube.com/streamcast. That's where you can get a lot of our content and get all of our stuff.
Make sure you go check them out and support because they make fantastic stuff. You can find all of us over on Burnout Brighter as well. Andy has been there many times, and Dee and I do stuff there all the time, so come hang out with us. But we will see you in 2 weeks for the next bonus level.
Wait. For everybody across the pond.
Yes, thank you.
Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month in the UK.
Happy Black History Month. Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming, my dude. We'll be doing this again real soon. We'll see ya in 2 weeks. Peace.